Y'all ever notice how some stories just don't sit right with you? Not because you have proof or anything, not because somebody told you something, because when you line everything up piece by piece, it just does not add up the way it should. And that's where we are with this Tiger Woods story because it's not about just one mistake. It seems to be some kind of pattern.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's go back 2009, middle of the night. Tiger Woods crashes his SUV right outside his home, not on a highway, not in traffic, in his own neighborhood. He hits a fire hydrant, then a tree. And what makes it strange isn't just the crash, right? It's what comes next: silence, delayed statements, refusal to speak to police initially, and then boom, his personal life explodes in public view. Affairs, scandals, marriage collapsing. His ex wife, Erin Noganen, suddenly at the center of a storm nobody saw coming. Now, think about this: late night crashes, emotional chaos, no clear explanation that satisfies anybody, and the public just moves on. So then we fast forward here, 2015, minor incident, careless driving. Not a huge story, not huge at all, but it's there. Another mark, 2017. And this one you cannot ignore. He's found asleep in his car, engine running, pulled over on the side of the road. Police wake him up. He's disorientated. He's confused, arrested for DUI. Now, here's where it gets interesting. We are told not alcohol, medication, yeah. Prescription drugs interacting in his system. And listen, that can happen. I mean, it's for real, it can happen. But step back for a second. You're telling me world class athlete, someone with access to the best doctors, trainers, advisors, ends up asleep at the wheel because of a medication mix up? Hmm. That's what we're told, right? And officially, that's what stands. Now we get to 2021. This one almost kills him. High speed crash, vehicle rolling over, car completely wrecked. They had to pull him out of that vehicle. Crushed legs, emergency surgery, and again, no alcohol, no drugs, just speed, loss of control on a downward heel. So let's stop right there because this is where you as a viewer have to decide what you believe, not based on rumors, not based on headlines, but based on pattern recognition. We have a late night crash with no explanations, a documented impairment incident where he's literally asleep in a running car, another driving incident in between that, and then a near fatal high speed crash, all involving the same person. All involved loss of control, all involving situations where something clearly went wrong behind the wheel. And every single time, there's an explanation, there's a reason, there's a version of events that technically checks out. But emotionally, for a lot of people, it don't make sense. Now here's where people start whispering. They say, how does someone like that have so many serious driving incidents? And it's never alcohol. How does someone get found impaired behind the wheel and it's always something else besides alcohol? How does someone keep losing control of vehicles? And every explanation is just clean enough to close the case. Now, I'm not here to tell you what's true and what's not. And I'm definitely not here to accuse somebody of something that has not been proven. But I am here to say to you, when patterns repeat themselves, people start asking questions. I ask questions, and those questions don't come from nowhere. They come from what people can see. Because at this point, it stops being about one crash or one explanation or one bad night, and it starts being about consistency. And the reality is, for someone at that level, with that kind of access, with that much to lose, you don't expect this many close calls. You don't expect this many incidents tied to driving. You don't expect this many moments where things could have ended very differently. So, yeah, officially, you have your answers: medication, speed, circumstances, but unofficially, in the court of public opinion, people are still looking at this and saying something here doesn't fully add up. I'm sorry, it just don't. And whether you agree with that or not, that conversation ain't going away because the pattern is still there. And once people see a pattern, they don't unsee it. We get on with Tiger Woods' current incident. Let's listen.
Tiger Woods is out of jail today after a car crash in Florida. He is charged with driving under the influence, refusing a lawful test, and property damage. Now, Woods, we're happy to say, wasn't hurt in this crash, and neither was anyone else. He has not entered a plea. Representatives for Tiger Woods did not respond to requests for comment. He recently teased a possible return to the Masters. Now, word is that could be in question. Nicole Valdez has more.
Tiger Woods is facing new legal trouble for his driving off the course. Woods was arrested for DUI in Florida Friday after crashing into the back of a pickup truck hauling a trailer and flipping his Land Rover on its side. The Martin County Sheriff's Office says he crawled out of the passenger side door unharmed. Responding officers said Woods appeared lethargic and was showing signs of impairment. He agreed to take a breathalyzer test that came back negative, but when asked to submit to a urine test, he refused and was arrested.
I think you have to take Tiger Woods' license away.
I think a lot of us, grew up idolizing this guy, and this is not what we want to see him in the news for.
This is now the fourth documented traffic incident involving Woods and the second time he's been charged with driving under the influence.
Martin County is known for being extra tough on DUI.
Dave Ehrenberg prosecuted Woods in 2017 when he faced his first DUI charge after police found him asleep behind the wheel.
Do you remember being asleep in the car? You don't?
In that incident, Woods eventually pled guilty to a lesser charge of reckless driving.
He took responsibility. He went through our first-time DUI offender program. He completed everything we asked him to. And then a short time later, he won the Masters. So I took it as a success story. So I don't know what to make of this.
Certainly, there's going to have to be accountability.
Eric Wallace is a sports writer for the Palm Beach Post.
Do you see a world where he does still try to play in the Masters?
I wouldn't put anything past Tiger Woods. He has been so determined to play in this 2026 Masters tournament that it wouldn't shock me at all.
Now, Wallace told me Tiger has a strong desire to play at this year's Masters tournament in just 2 weeks, but it all comes down to whether he can handle it physically after years of recovery from those previous injuries. Now, of course, we're all waiting to hear not only whether he plans to compete, but if he'll address this latest arrest. Adriana?
That's his latest arrest in the last couple of days. Another DUI. At the end of the day, this is not about trying to take somebody down. It's about looking at the full picture without the filters. I personally think he's always had some kind of alcohol problem since who knows how long. But that's just me. People know how to hide things. When you got money, you got people who will clean things up for you, people who will change reports for you, people who will do all kinds of things for you when you have money. As I said, at the end of the day, I don't want to take her down any kind of Tiger Woods. I don't want to take him down. It's about looking at the full picture without rose-colored glasses. Because when you step back and you look at all of it, we're looking at the crashes, we're looking at the late nights, one confirmed impairment, second confirmed impairment, the explanations that follow every time, you're left with two things. what's been officially said and what people feel when they see this pattern. What I feel when I see the pattern. And those two things don't match up. Now, maybe every single one of these incidents has a clear explanation. Maybe, hey, I could be wrong about these things. Maybe it really is just bad timing, bad decisions, and unfortunate circumstances. It could be just that. That's possible. But it's also fair for people to ask questions when the same type of situation keeps happening over and over and over again with the same result. Loss of control behind the wheel with everything on the line. And that's the rub here. Not proof, not accusation, just a pattern that makes people pause. That makes me pause. Because when you're dealing with someone at this level, that disciplined, that calculated, you don't expect repeated moments like this. And when they do happen, people are going to look closer. Where's your handlers? Where's the people that's supposed to be looking out for you? Where's your family? So the real question isn't about what's being reported. The real question is, at what point does a pattern become something more? And that's where I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it right there. Let you think about what's going on, because whether you think it all makes sense or not, or you think something's missing, that decision, that's yours. What you think. I know what I think. And it is what it is. And I see you guys in the next one.